Hi, this is Laura. Um, I'm doing another video today, not again because I want to, but feel like I have to. Um, this video is kind of like about throwing the president a rope, if you will, trying to help him a little bit. Because, like I say, you know, I'm not really yay nor nay. I'm not really for him. I'm not really against him. I don't, yeah, I did vote for him. So, I don't mind, him being president if he's more constructive. I want to give him some pointers as I kind of throw him a rope and try to help him out here for a minute. Um, I would say, and I don't want to be doing this all the time because I'm not the president. I didn't vote to be president. I didn't run for president. I didn't try to become, I'm not a candidate for president. I'm not the president. I'm not interested in being a president. So, but to help him out for a minute, I would like to say this. First of all, I just got a video sent to me from a young man that was talking about the fact that he impeaches all the judges and impeaches everybody that goes against him. I would say that he should not be able to intimidate everybody that disagrees with him or goes against him. Now, I have done a lot of pro se testimony work where I was my own lawyer in court, and I know, and I had recommended to him before that he should throw out some judges on the basis of bias. That was before I knew all the story. But at any rate, whether he impeaches a judge or not, or whatever he does systematically, I don't think that he should be able to go behind the scenes and intimidate people that go against him. Just to go over to their houses at night, to rail and rail and rail, to rock against people of a difference of opinion. Now, this again is to throw him a rope of help because, like I said, I'm not inherently against him. I voted for him. If he's going to continue as president, I would like him to become a great president, as are his aspirations, and he wants to be great. Now, I have a few pointers for him, and that's what throwing him this rope is about. Um, what people want to see in the president is him building up the country, building things up, being constructive instead of tearing things down. I have watched a lot of the protests and a lot of what's going on out there right now on videos. Okay. I've spent the last few days watching it. Um, I think from what I'm hearing with the protest that most people aren't to that point yet where they inherently want to impeach the president. They just want to see the president become more constructive in what he's doing and stop the cut, stop cutting the programs that people need, stop cutting health care and all of the cutting things for the veterans, cutting healthcare programs, cutting all of the humanitarian aid and relief that people need in this country. I think if the president becomes more constructive in building things up instead of tearing things down, like, thinking about killing people all the time and wars and all the negative stuff, that people would be a lot more on his side and want him to continue his presidency. Okay. Now, people in the rallies the protesters were calling for his impeachment. I don't think they're really there yet. I heard them being more like they wanted to get rid of this Musk guy than they actually want to impeach the president. Now, some of them really may want to impeach the president on the Democrat side. Some of them never wanted him to be president at all because they were Democrats. I, on the other hand, voted for him. The Republicans that voted for him that are losing interest and feeling dissent about him is because of his behaviors and because of him cutting programs and things and relief aid that they feel like they need. So if he would reinstate those things that they need, reinstate the welfare programs, the Medicaid, the things that they were taking away, give back those things to the people, give it back, give it back, give it back, give it back to the people. I don't think that they would be off his side. I think they would go back to his side again. Now, I think that the thing that people are worried about with him and giving him, a first, a second, and a third chance, or maybe more than that, but at least three chances before they consider impeaching him. I think he may have a window before they impeach him, but it may be a small window. It may not be very large. We don't know what that window is. So if I were him, I would turn around. I would say, I'm sorry, and I would make amends to the people. And I would try to enter in again in a good, positive way to make America great again. Okay. And what I was thinking that he could do, and I suggested to him in some, tweets or whatever you're going to call it, I suggested to him that I think it is Los Angeles, that there's a huge homeless population, people living in tents. Why not work on those issues? Why not work on the real issues that America is facing? Homelessness. If it's joblessness, homelessness, that issue there is becoming out of hand with the homeless people. And I think they said it's Los Angeles, and I also heard New York City, but Los Angeles, I think, was the last one where there's like people are living in tents. Why not try to find a way to get housing to those people? Children are being, sexually abused, and sex trafficking of children and all kinds of abuse. Why not try to work on those issues and be constructive? Why not try to, if there's an issue with people not having enough food to eat in this country, why not have feeding programs and feed the poor? As I was saying last time, he's not anything like he was in 2016 when he went into office before, when I voted for him originally 8 years ago. When he went in the first time, he said, we're going to give the country back to the people. We're going to give the country back to the people. And we're not going to have the media take over. We're going to give the country back to the people, to the workers, to the, and help these main people, that people that have been neglected and not represented. So why don't you do that? Why don't you do what you said you're going to do in 2016 and give the country back to the people and help the poor people, help the people of the country, the working class? Okay. In 2000, when he was president before, he was making all those buses where they had been painting buses all across, the countryside, saying, make America great again, and America and American. Why don't you do that again? Why don't you put buses that say America and American? People were expecting you to pick up where you left off. You were supposed to get a 4-year term right after your first 4 years, but then the other president, Biden, interceded, and then you came back in. But people that voted for you wanted you to keep re-implementing your great ideas to make America great again. So why don't you do that? Another thing that he did that I thought was fascinating was he put a presidential letter in food boxes that we received. We had gotten letters from him in food boxes as helping people, to encouraging to help people. And everybody was astonished. Oh, we got a letter, from the president. He's talking about our food boxes and was pushing people along, was supporting people that were receiving food boxes and stuff from the government. I never received anything like that before. I had a neighbor that received a letter from the president. Why don't you do some of these good, productive, constructive things again, instead of killing people, the dark things, killing people, abusing people, the Venezuelans, I guess, that was taken out. They were taken out like in just immigrants in chains, bending over like this, not allowed to even stand up. They looked at like their stomachs were hurting, like they were in tremendous pain. Bombing people, killing people. Why don't you get constructive, build up instead of tearing down? And maybe the people that are protesting against you would still want you to be president instead of trying to remove you from office. And then you could make America great again. And not only that, but then you could become great president again. You still have a chance, a window left. I don't think the people are all of the people are thoroughly exhausted with you yet, but I do think trust is being breached. People are not trusting you as much as they were before because they're, even if they allow you, give you a second chance, even if you make amends, even if you say you're sorry and you start over and you redeem yourself to the people will still have to wonder and worry deep in the back of their minds, is he going to still have these Hitler type ideas? Is he still going to try to take control? Is he still going to try to manipulate judges and the legal system and pay people off uh, to get, and I'm not saying he ever has before, but he might be doing that because we wonder why people are wondering why the police haven't been working for them, against his tyrannical moves, and why the court system hasn't been working. And we hear it's because he's going and he's threatening each of these people individually. Now, that should be a crime. If there was a domestic violence order, and I've had to put restraining orders against people before through the courts. If there's a domestic violence order and somebody violates a restraining order, or they keep going over again behind the back and threatening that person, that would be illegal, and that person would be in trouble with the law. Now, I do not think that he should be allowed to intimidate people behind the scenes, and I think you judges should hold up to that. I am not trying to be president. I am not a presidential candidate. I'm not running for president. And I didn't even want to have to make this trip again. But I'm as a voter of the president, I want to throw him a rope and give him a chance to be good. Give him a chance to come back and fall in alignment with the law and to do things correctly and right now. Another thing is this Musk guy. What I heard the protesters saying is they want him out of his office. Now, if he's a part of his cabinet, like his children were, and he makes him a legal part of what he does in the White House, like he makes him a member of, well, I can't remove him because he's a member of the cabinet that I'm building, then there's nothing people can do about it, But if he is just sitting in his office and all the time, people want him they want the president in his office alone, acting like a president, acting like he can hold on, up to his presidential power, that he is a strong man, that he can sit there, by himself, that he's the one running the country and not the other guy. And so I heard in the protest that they want him out more than they want the president removed at this point. So more than they want the president impeached at this point. So I think you have a window of opportunity to get back on track, to say you're sorry, to stop tearing down the country and start building the country up instead of being destructive, being constructive, getting your voter supporters back and making things better. Now, one thing I think that we should do is, and I've been wanting to say this, is that we should build the Republican Party, especially with brown people and black people, because that would make constructive ends towards the future. Now, I don't know very much about the rich and elite Republican Party, but we could have a Republican Party as we're entering in for, black people and brown people and poor people, and, whether it's segmented in those groups or whether it's brown or poor people or black, brown, and poor people all together. But we need to build the Republican Party so brown and black people learn the work ethics, learn, the values of the Republican Party, the work ethic, working for money instead of, as they used to say, accepting handouts all the time, and building the brown and black people up in Republican values and virtues that would make them a better people and a stronger country overall, because you're going to have things in the future coming up that were in the brown and black community that may actually threaten the government rather than strengthen it. And that doesn't mean changing people's personal views, religion, or their personal opinions about things. But if we had people being built up, in the democratic process of whether or not they are Republican or Democrat in their political ideas. I think that that could enhance and enrich the country a lot towards the future, you know. So if we can build Republican virtues and honor and ideology in the brown and black people, that could help build the country in the future, I think, a lot. All right. This is just throwing the president a rope to try to help him out, saying that, you know, as I said, I'm not inherently against him. And if he gets better and becomes a better man and he stops these negative shenanigans, his reporters might come back in and support him again through the presidency. I would say you only have 3 years to make the America great again. So let's start working on it, shall we? And stop listening to people that are going to tear you down and your administration and how you look in the eyes of the people and actually build you up. Okay. So peace and love. You know, we're giving you prompts and we're hoping that you make America great again, starting with your own ideology and yourself in the way that you do things from this point on forward. So hoping that you make it. Okay. You wanted to be president, hoping that you don't get impeached, hoping that you make a turnaround, become positive again, and make it with that window of opportunity you have before you might get impeached or whatever would come down the road left from the people of your dissent and people that don't want you in office. They say your voters, the Republicans that supported you, probably don't mind having you there as long as you stop the negative stuff and stop being destructive, tearing things down, and start being constructive, building things up. All right. So good luck. Best wishes. This is Laura. Thank you. Signing off. Good luck, goodwill today. Thank you. I'm trying to remember what day it is we're working on. I haven't looked at the calendar yet. Well, let me look. Let me check out what the date is. Let's see. If I go off this phone, I will be. Hang on. All right. It is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Okay. So if you're in the night, hey, keep looking for the light. See ya.